Every dream starts as a wild idea. Ours, to make $1 million South African indie film. This is the road to the $1 million movie. I want to see more South African stories told on a global scale. Okay, so what are we actually doing here? Right now, I don't even know what I'm doing here. I'm on this journey called The Road to the $1 Million Movie. So with this feature film called Grows Giant, my dream is to create a sustainable industry within Maddock Pictures, or for Maddock Pictures to be one of the industry leaders in cinematic film production. Yeah, that's pretty much the dream.
What does $1 million movie mean?
In the grander scheme of things, $1 million actually isn't that much. In South African film production, 17 million rand is quite a lot for a feature film, especially a debut feature film. I want us to be the first film production company that goes away from all of these low budgets, trying to go after the smallest productions and the smallest crews that we can, to trying to make the biggest spectacles that we can, and to try and build something bigger than all of us.
And does it feel possible right now, or does it feel like a little bit of, a leap of faith?
Right now, for me, anything's possible. To make a $1 million movie is not far out of reach. And of course, there are people that I come across and that keep on telling me like, okay, yeah, you have to be realistic. There's no way that you're going to make $1 million movie. The idea that I have in my head is that anything's possible. Anything's possible. It's just about getting the right team that believes in your story, that believes in your vision, and just making it happen.
Tell me, what is the film actually called?
So, Grows Giant is a coming-of-age sci-fi drama. It's about this 15-year-old overlooked sprinter. His name is Victor Grow, that dreams of fame and recognition at his school called Legacy College. He's too young to be able to compete in the opens, even though he's talented. And he finds this way in order to transform him into an older, stronger version of himself. And once he is able to harness this power, he soars through the athletics trials, he gets the fame and the recognition that he always wanted. But with each shortcut win, it comes with a cost. And he eventually learns through all of these shortcut wins that life isn't actually about chasing glory and about chasing fast wins. It's about growing slowly and just running as who you are.
Where did the idea come from? What was there a specific moment the idea came to you? Like, how did it come about?
The idea of Grows Giant actually came when I first started out in the industry. The South African film industry desperately needs new blood, but it's confined by all of these gatekeepers of the industry. From my side and from Maddock Pictures, we want to create new stories. We want to be the new blood in the industry. The youth of the film industry is a force to be reckoned with, and we are coming. And that's what Maddock Pictures is here to do. We're here to blaze our own path in the film industry, and we're going to do that through Grows Giant.
Then on Grows Giant, what part of South Africa, your heart or parts of South Africa, you feel is this story?
Grows Giant, for me, it's deeply South African. There's a lot in South Africa that us as the youth struggle with every day, whether it's trying to find a sustainable job or having leaders that are people that you can actually trust and actually have your best interest at heart. And that's what Grows Giant is for. It's for if your leaders are failing you, or if the industry that you want to get into doesn't want you, then you got to build your own. You got to create your own movement. And that's exactly what Grows Giant is about. It's about running in your lane the way that you want to run.
Actually, beautifully ties into my next question, which is do you feel like this story represents something bigger for South African filmmakers?
This story definitely represents something bigger for South African filmmakers. I am just a piece of something that's a lot bigger in the industry, where we need the youth to tell their stories and the youth to take charge of telling their stories. We're stuck in these systems where people are just told, you just fall in line. This is exactly how it needs to be done. You work this job. Maybe after a few years of doing a dead-end aspect of that job, then maybe you'll be promoted. And I was thinking to myself, I don't want to wait 30 years to be a director for a major studio. I want to shoot my own movies, whether it's for my own independent productions or for small studios, and maybe eventually can grow into larger studios, or larger studios can pick me up. But I want to shoot my own content. I want to show that I can actually make something that's better than all of the other veterans in the industry. And that's why I started creating my own movies. Because rule number one in the film industry is, if you want to be a director, you got to direct.
This whole Road to the $1 Million movie, is it about proving something to yourself or to the industry?
For me, I'm making this movie because I want to be able to make movies in the land that I love, which is South Africa, for the rest of my life. And I want to be able to have a community that supports what I'm doing. And I want to be able to build an industry that supports the community that is creating what we're doing. I'm actually doing this because I love movies, I love storytelling, and I'm a firm believer that movies can change the world. And I want to see more South African stories told on a global scale.
What do you hope people feel when they finally watch Grows Giant?
I hope that Grows Giant inspires people to do something that they've never done before, to step out of your comfort zone and to break boundaries, to break records that you didn't think that you could break, your own personal ceilings that you put on yourself. You have to think big. You have to aim big. And that's the only way that you can actually create change, where it creates momentum that can change the world.
When did you decide, okay, you're actually going to do this, you're going to go for this $1 million movie? And was it a specific moment or conversation that put that on for you?
So I actually wanted to make a $1 million feature film 5 years ago when I actually first came into the industry. I was like, I'm going to make a feature film. And then I got, slapped by reality that there's no way that I can actually make a feature film just like that. I got to show what I can do and be someone that the industry can trust in order to invest in making a feature film. So yeah, this dream has been going for what I can say as a goal. So this goal has been there for 5 years, but this dream has been there since I was a young boy. I've always wanted to make movies. I just didn't know it was possible.
And now that you're at this threshold where you've decided that you're actually going to make this happen, how are you feeling?
Going into this campaign for the $1 million movie, I'm feeling hopeful. I know that there is money out there in the world. I know that there's investors that are willing to invest in an idea and in a story that can uplift and inspire audiences both locally and globally.
So what's the hardest or scariest part of chasing a dream this big independently?
I think the hardest thing about chasing something so big is that sometimes you're going to have to do it alone. There's not a lot of people that are going to believe in your ideas and in your dreams. Whoever comes on your project and believes in you and believes in the big ideas that you want to get out there, those are the people that you must hold very dear to you, because those are the ones that are there to build something bigger than themselves. And the greatest thing about this industry is that when you find those people, they become lifelong friends, because you'll all share this passion for storytelling, which is something that's actually very rare to find.
So this whole journey, it's going to come with its ups and downs, right? And we're just at the beginning. What's your plan to keep yourself grounded when the doubt maybe starts to creep in? When
doubt starts to creep in, which it does, when I first started out, I used to have an existential crisis almost every day. Now it's kind of gone down to maybe once a week. So there is always that thing where it's in your head, where you have this idea, it's so big, it's so bold, it's so bright, and there are people that don't believe in it, and that really also puts doubt in your own mind about what you're doing and why you're doing this, and oh my God, I should just go back to my normal life. But then that's exactly what makes me want to pursue this, is because I'd rather pursue something that is scary and uncertain than to sit back and be sad just doing something that's considered, well, for me, regular. I like chasing something that's scary. I like getting out of my comfort zone. And the best thing is, once it's achieved, you are that team that's achieved the impossible. If you can make people believe in a story, you can make them believe in anything.
I like that. So what do you tell yourself when you start to question if it's possible?
Sometimes I go through stages where I don't believe in it at all, where I will wake up that day and I'll just think, what have I been doing for the past few years of my life trying to build something like this? But then I will watch beautiful movies that actually sparked my interest in the industry and wanting to make my own movies. And when I watch these movies, there it is. It's right in front of me. It's tangible. It's possible. And if they can do it, why can't I?
Okay, almost at the end. First, how are you feeling this week? Like, honestly?
This week, I am feeling optimistic. When we started this campaign, this Road to $1 Million movie, there was no doubt that was actually creeping in my head until I actually started reading and researching about market values and finance plans. And surprisingly, it told me that it is very difficult to reach the goal of the $1 million movie. But it also showed me ways to make a $1 million movie. So reading, gaining knowledge on whatever you have fears about is one of the greatest ways to actually get rid of the anxiety that you feel. So the books that I would recommend that you read if you want to be a writer-director like me and you want to break into the industry will be Save the Cat by Blake Snyder. That will teach you the beat sheet of how your narrative structure should work. But that's just the skeleton. You have to read scripts. The best script that I've read is The Prisoner's script, starring Hugh Jackman and Jake Gyllenhaal. In order to get your movie made, you actually have to know a lot about producing, even if you want to be a writer-director. So I would recommend reading Producer to Producer by Maureen Ryan and Independent Film Finance by David Offenbach. Those are great books for you to be able to run productions, build productions, and even seek investment for productions.
Okay, so what did you say has been your biggest win so far?
My biggest win regarding this Road to the $1 Million movie will be that I got a great team of executive producers from Seamless Cut on board. They have been very helpful with structuring our decks and our portfolios to actually send to investors. So yeah, that's been a great plus, because our team at Maddox, we are mainly creative, and it's great to actually have people that know the producing and the finance structure of the industry to come in and help.
What would you say has been your biggest challenge so far?
The biggest challenge so far is actually learning about the producing aspect and the financial aspect of the film, and how to create something so compelling that your investors will just jump at it and want to be on board.
One word to describe week one?
One word to describe week one: stress.
Okay. So finish the sentence for me. We don't have the money, but we have.
Okay, we don't have the money, but we have faith.
When people watch this series that we're filming now, what do you want them to take away from it?
Be inspired to make your own movies. Whew. This is just the beginning, week one. If you want to see what it really takes to make a $1 million movie from scratch, stick around. We're documenting every step, the wins, the mess, alles. Like the video, subscribe to our channel, and follow the journey. The road is just starting.